Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all doing fantastic. So, on today's video, we're going to talk about the scans that we use in the office here. They are the CLA scans and what they mean, and if you've had them, good morning, Cody, do you still need x-rays? Okay, so when we take scans, the HRV or heart rate variability test, what that's looking at is your overall reserve or adaptability to your environment. So if you're chronically stressed, Grand Wizard, I love it. So if you're chronically stressed, what we're going to see is actually your reserve drop down a bit, and that's kind of the origin. If you've actually seen those, maybe on our next one I'll pick them up. It's somewhat of a rainbow colored graph, and we'll actually be able to see where the dominance of your nervous system sits, whether it's sympathetic or parasympathetic. The next scan that we would do is the thermal testing, and the thermal test actually measures two different things. The first thing that it does is it measures your nerve temperature. So we get a really good idea if you have irritated nerves or not. Now, a lot of chiropractors, yep, I'm picking on them, will say because you had scans that you don't need x-rays. That's complete and utter crap. Just because you had a thermal scan, that tells you nothing about what the actual skeleton is doing. So you could have a bone out of place and fixated versus one that moves too much, and they'll still both irritate a nerve, but some wackadoodle told one of our patients just because it was hot on there that they could go ahead and adjust it. Not true at all. Actually could have caused some pretty severe damage. I'm glad our patient listened to us and was like, no, not good, guy. But anyways, it actually looks for nerve temperature or nerve temperature difference. So it'll tell us what side's hot, what side's cold, which can be an indication of a problem area. Not necessarily one that needs to be touched, but just that a problem's there. The next thing that the thermal scan does is it actually looks at your blood flow. So we can see if these things have been there chronically or whether it's new. Pretty cool. So if it's something that's been there chronically, it'll actually show up blue as reduced blood flow in there because your brain's tried to fix the area and it couldn't. So it's going to cut blood flow to that area. And if you did take x-rays or pictures, you're likely going to see some arthritis in that area. That's from our experience. The next scan that we do is the SEMG or the surface EMG. So what this actually is looking at, the EMG or SEMG means surface electromyogram. So the EMG looks at your muscle tone, whether things are, or it grades how tight things are. It can also tell us if the muscles aren't firing enough. So if they're not firing enough, we know that there's been some pretty severe trauma in that area, or that just it's been chronically overworked and it's worn out. That's going to take more work to get it to come back. Also, if you see really tight spots on the EMG, to circle back to that whole pictures thing, the x-rays thing, again, when a bone is hypermobile, aka it moves too much, that's all it is it's moving too much on the EMG. Of course, your brain's going to tighten that area up and try to lock it down because it's moving inappropriately. It's not whether it moves enough or too much. It's just an indicator to that there's a problem in the area. So with that being said, yes, if you have scans, that they provide very, very valuable data for doctors that know how to read them. And if you do have positive findings on there, you most definitely should take more pictures to know exactly what you're doing in that area, because our goal is to get people better, not to hurt them. I hope that made sense for everybody. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free, shoot them over to us in a message like most everyone does, and we will respond back to you as soon as possible. And if you have any ideas or any topics you would like me to elaborate more on, please shoot them over too, and we'll filter through those, and I will knock them off as they come in. Have a great day, Kalispell. See ya.